I've been all in my phone, I got options. And I don't wanna tell you to drop it, but I don't wanna play your fair. Yeah, something that makes me look at you too out there. Oh, baby, you can give it something. Baby, I can run all the time.
What's good, y'all? It's your girl Kane. Welcome back to my channel. Y'all already know when I'm sitting at this desk, it's story time. Straight like that. I know I haven't been consistent. It's been very hard because I've been adulting a lot. I live in a very noisy neighborhood, so I really don't know when is a good time to record. And then I just have people that have been really getting under my skin lately, trying to knock me off my pivot, but it's not working. So I just been, throwing the bowls and blocking the negativity out as much as possible. And guess what? You got a video. You probably got 2 or 3. Because I have so much content, I just have not been able to edit. Because like I said, every day is some bullshit. But y'all see the title. Y'all see that title. That's why you clicked on it. So I'm going to just do my disclaimer like I normally do before all of my videos. None of the names that I'm using are the real names of these characters in the video. Okay? The characters are real people. The story time is real. It's real life scenes from my life. But I'm switching names, places, and things to protect the trifling, not the innocent. So I'm protecting their privacy. Okay? So with that being said, we just go ahead and hop into the video. We're going to hop into the story time. The mysterious baby. We just gonna go ahead and hop into the story time because y'all see that title. I know y'all like, shut the fuck up and get into it. All right, so this story time once again is about Joshua. That I just did one about Joshua. So I just, I be sitting thinking like I was in a long relationship with Joshua and with Richard. So I have millions and millions of story times regarding these two people. Joshua, he was like a 5-6 year relationship. I was with him. And it was not easy at all, as y'all seen in the last video that I put y'all on to. This particular time, this was like this is like a piece of the beginning and a piece of the middle going towards the end. So when I first met Joshua, like I said, honeymoon phase, y'all know how it is when you first start dating somebody. You texting them every 5 minutes, every second, every whatever. I love you, babe. What are you doing? Are you busy? I miss you. I can't wait to see you, even though you just walked away from them. I hate to watch you go, but I love to see you leave. Whatever. Okay? Whatever. So me and Joshua, we used to go to Atlantic City a lot. Okay? We used to go to Atlantic City a lot. We used to go to the casinos. I'm not gonna give off too many details because at some point, when you give off too many details, like I said, people be in these videos like calculating, trying to see who I'm talking about. Is she talking about me? Whatever. But we used to go to the casinos a lot. And we, like Joshua liked to gamble. He was very good at gambling also. So we're at the casino and we happened to run into somebody that was like lost, like a lost soul. We just call him that. There's a lot of lost souls in Atlantic City. If you from Atlantic City or you from Jersey, maybe you know what I'm referring to if you're like a spiritual person. But when I say lost souls, it's like people that went to Atlantic City and like lost all their money or just like lost everything and they're just there. They're just there, just lingering around and don't know what the fuck is going on. So this is a lost soul. This is somebody that lost in the sauce, like I said, but he became a really good friend to Joshua because Joshua stayed going to Atlantic City to gamble because I'm not gonna say he had a gambling problem, but he liked to gamble. Blackjack, poker, and the craps table. He was like really fucking good with those games right there. Okay, so we're walking around the casino. We had been at the casino maybe for 5 or 6 hours. Like we're just there. We were there so long because when we first got there, Joshua would always win a large streak amount, like a streak. He would just go on the street and win a large amount of money and didn't necessarily know how to just take the money and leave. So he would take the money and put it back onto these tables. He did not know how to take the money and leave. He would take it. Oh, if I won 5,000 in 5 minutes, I can win 10. I can flip this 5 and get 10. Like this is, this is the street in him. And I'll just be like, why don't we just take the 5 and just get the fuck out of here? Like let's go to a telly, let's get something to eat, and then get back in the car and go back to Brooklyn. He didn't want to do that. He never listened to me. His response would be,
"You're just a fucking hater. Just be quiet. Like, shut up. Why are you talking? Every time you say something, it's something to hate on me. You're a hater."
and the whole time I'm right. I'd be correct. I said, all right, fine. So this particular day, he had won 4,500. Okay. He's like, what should we do? So y'all know my response. Like I just said, we should just go to a hotel. Like let's get a little cheap hotel and then get something to eat and just walk around on the boardwalk and like vibe. Like this is me. Like I'm just really simple. I like to do simple things. I don't like to do nothing too big. Even if I had $1 million, I still wouldn't be doing shit big. I already told you, if I was a millionaire, I'm gonna shop at the Dollar Tree still. So he's like, nah, I don't want to do that. He wants to flip the money. Why even ask me if you know my response is gonna be something logical? Why even ask me? All right, so fine. We going back into the casino, and the guy, the friend that I was just telling you about, let's give him a name. We will call him Stanley. Okay, we run into Stanley. And he's an older guy. He was older than both of us. So we run into Stanley. Stanley's coming down the stairs. He's on the phone. He's talking shit to somebody on the phone. He happens to recognize Joshua. Now Joshua didn't see him because Joshua, he's counting his money because he's focused on going to blow this 4,500 that he just made. So we run into Stanley. Stanley is like, yo, is that my boy Josh? So Joshua looks up and he's like, my wigger, where you been at? They slap each other 5. They hug. They talking, catching up. So the whole time they talking, Stanley is looking over at me, and Stanley is like, is she with you? So Joshua's like, yeah, this is my girlfriend. So he says, so Stanley looks over at me and says, is she with you? Is that your broad? Is that your broad? So Joshua says, yeah, that's my girl. That's my girl. Chill out with the broad stuff. He says, oh, my bad, fam, my bad. You know how I talk. No disrespect, Miss Lady. No disrespect. I'm like, it's all good. So Joshua's like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. That's Kane. He's like, oh, she's pretty. Okay. So you finally got away from, Harry. You finally got away from the Tubman looking chick. Saying, Joshua looks at him, and now he's trying to change the subject. He's trying to change the subject and get Stanley off of the Tubman looking chick. The chick that looked like she ran through, she was a runaway slave or something. So Joshua is like, yeah, well, you still out here? Like, he's literally trying to change the subject. And Stanley just kept talking, like he wasn't catching on to the hints. So he did answer that question. He's like, yeah, I'm still out here, still getting money. He goes, so what happened with the kid? Like, with your son. Now, according to Joshua, according to my knowledge, Joshua didn't have any kids. He had no kids at all. right? So now I'm standing there. It caught my ear because, I had turned away. I had went down a couple of steps and turned away because, they're men talking. It's none of my business, whatever. But when I heard that situation about another, like about a child, a son, it caught my attention now. So now, I'm looking at my phone, but I'm looking up like, excuse me, what? A son? What is he talking about? So Joshua's like, I don't got no kids. Like, what you talking about? You must got the wrong. You got the wrong wigger. You got the wrong one. It's not me. I don't have no kids. Stanley, so Stanley is like, nah. You told me that you had a situation with a child and with this girl, and you was just trying to figure it out and stuff like that. So Joshua comes and puts his arm around me. He puts his arm around me and he's laughing and he's, you know, but the whole time I'm just like, what the fuck is he talking about? What is this nigga talking about? Okay? Don't try to love me up. I want to know what he's talking about. What child is he speaking about? So Joshua's just
It's like, oh, he doesn't know what he's talking about. He's a crackhead. He gets high, and he's probably high right now. So just don't listen to him. Like, don't take him serious because he's a crackhead. We don't take crackheads serious.
so that I just had to give y'all that piece right there, okay? Stanley, Joshua. Stanley mentions Joshua having a son. Joshua says, don't listen to him because he's a crackhead. Later down into my relationship with Joshua, y'all, we are living in the South. We have a nice house, a garage, everything. We just have a nice house. We're in, I'm in the house. We're both in the house chilling. We didn't have to work this particular day, neither one of us. Joshua is in the room. I'm in the living room or the kitchen, wherever the fuck. I was in the front of the house. The doorbell rings. So me and Joshua was kind of like the same, almost. I was introverted and he was extrovert. So he liked to have people around. But when he wanted people around, it was just like they couldn't really be in his space, if that makes sense. Me, as an introvert, I don't want any fucking body around me at all. The house can be empty and I'm happy. Happy go lucky. But him, he just had to have a house full of people, but they just had to stay in their own space. He didn't want them cluttering his space, if that makes sense. So when I heard the doorbell, I'm just like, okay, he must have called somebody over because he does this a lot. He would call people to come over and would not ever say anything to me. I wouldn't even know until people showed up. So when I heard the doorbell, I'm just like, I didn't move. I'm just still sitting and doing what I was doing. The doorbell goes again. So I'm like, okay, maybe he's asleep. I gets up. I go to the door. As I'm walking past the window, because there was like a window right by the door to where you could see the driveway and you can see like the front side of the house. I see the county sheriff cars, two of them, in the driveway. So I'm just like, what the hell is going on here? Because Joshua used to upkeep. He used to be in a lot of things, a lot of trouble. And then he would just come home like nothing happened. Okay. I'm like, sheriff. So I open up the door and there's two sheriffs. And he says can we speak to Joshua? Is Joshua here? And I was just like, no. This is the Bonnie in me, y'all. Because, me and Joshua, we were Bonnie and Clyde. So this is the Bonnie in me. I'm just like, no, he's not here. Because like I said, I don't know what they want. I don't even know why they're here. So I was kind of wishing I had my phone on me so I can just send him a text and be like, don't come to the front of the house. It's two sheriffs here at the front door. They're asking for you. So the sheriff goes in his back pocket. He pulls a paper out. he has like 2 or 3 papers, and they're like closed and like stapled closed. And then the other 2 were in envelopes. So he's looking through them, and as he's looking through them, the other sheriff, because I didn't have the door opened all the way, so the other sheriff is like, "What's your name?" And I was just like, "Why does that matter? Like, what are y'all here for?" So he says, we're getting ready to tell you right now, since you said that Josh was not here, you're here, so I just want to know, would you accept this? This is a, he's being subpoenaed for something. And I'm just like, no, I'm not accepting that. Like, I'm holding on to the door. So as I'm holding on to the door, I feel a hand touch my back. And I didn't turn around. I just automatically knew it was Joshua because nobody else in the fucking house. So Joshua pulls the door open and he says, "What's the problem? What seems to be the problem, officer?" So the sheriff looks at me because I didn't told these people this man wasn't here. Okay. The sheriff looks at me and he looks at Joshua and he goes, "Is your name Joshua?" And Joshua is like, "It depends on what you're here for." So the sheriff says, "Well, you've been subpoenaed for court, and there's a whole list of other things in this documents as to what it is that you need to do. There's phone numbers that you can call and things of that nature. Are you accepting this subpoena?" Like, basically. And Joshua is just like, he's standing there like in thought. And then he goes, "Okay." So the sheriff hands him the paper. He takes the paper from the sheriff and they say, "Have a good day." And they walk away, close the door. So now Joshua, he's trying to 360 the whole thing onto me. "Why the fuck you didn't tell me that they were at the door?" I'm just like, you heard the doorbell. These people rung the doorbell more than one time. Why didn't you get up and go to the door? Number one. Number two, this house is quiet. Okay, it's not a big house. It's a 2-bedroom house. There was no second levels. Everything is one level. The house is quiet. You're telling me that you did not hear anything. He goes, "Well, I heard you talking to somebody at the door, but all right." So he opens up the paper. He's reading it. He laughs, closes the paper back, folds it up, puts it in his pocket, and walks away. As a significant other, what the fuck is that? Why is the sheriff knocking on my door? Why is 2 sheriffs pulling up? Like, come on. Tell me I'm not wrong. Any person, if you're in a relationship with somebody and the 2 sheriffs pull up at your house, knock on your door, and like, we need to speak to such and such. They're being subpoenaed for something. You telling me that you wouldn't want to know? And the person reads it and walks away? Like, okay. So the whole entire day, I'm trying my hardest. The rest of the day, I'm trying my hardest to get information as to what these sheriffs have brought to the door. I'm just trying. Like, I cook dinner. We sitting there eating. I'm just like, yeah, it's not every day the sheriff pulls up to your door and wants to subpoena you to go to court. He goes, yeah. Keeps eating. Doesn't say a word. All right, fine. So the next day, he goes to work. And I had worked from home because I was designing clothes. I'm still designing clothes. So I'm home and y'all, I was not snooping. I swear I wasn't. I'm sitting there sewing because at this particular time, I didn't have a desk or like a designated area to sew at. So I'm sitting at my dresser sewing. And the thread and, the bobbin thread had fell, rolled straight under the bed. So I get up. Actually, before I got up, I'm just like, let me see if there is an extra bobbin somewhere, so I don't have to get up because I'm just not in the mood. There was no extra bobbin, so I had to get up. I get up. I go and look under the bed. The bobbin, guess where the bobbin landed? The bobbin landed directly next to the papers that the sheriff had gave him. So Joshua had this habit of putting shit under the bed. He would put stuff either on the side of the bed or up under. He would have it up under the bed. Like, that's where his hiding spot, I guess. I pick up the bobbin, I see the paper, I stands up, I go back to the dresser. And I'm just like, I'm not going to invade his privacy. He obviously doesn't want me to know. So I went back under that fucking bed and got the paper, unfolded it, and read it. Come on now. Don't tell me I'm wrong, because I know y'all would have did the same thing. Okay, so I I read the paper, and it's just like there's a female named, let's just call her Rita. There's a female named Rita, and she's subpoenaing him and another individual that's incarcerated to take DNA tests regarding her son. And he had 30 days to do this. It had to be in by within 30 days. And I'm just like this is something new. This is unheard of. I have not heard of this. He's never told me anything about this. He's told me everything besides this. So I fold the paper back up the way it was. I put it back under the bed. So now I'm confused. I'm angry. I'm just like mixed of emotions. One, like a percentage of me didn't care. A percentage was just like, why didn't he tell me? A percentage was, if he didn't mention it, then it must be true. I don't know, like you're hiding it under the bed, you're hiding the paper under the bed, so gotta be some truth to it. I don't know, y'all. I didn't know how to feel. So Joshua comes home later that day, and he's like, I guess trying to see if I discovered the paper. Now I put it back the way he had it. So he just kept asking questions like, did you cleaned up today? I'm like, yeah. I cleaned up. How many outfits did you make today? Oh, I made 3 or 4. I'm showing him. He goes, oh, okay. So to keep from him thinking that I found the paper, I didn't vacuum the room. I left the room because we had carpet in the whole fucking house. So I just didn't vacuum the room. I left the room regular. I left it, whatever. So I guess he sees now that I didn't vacuum the room and I didn't find the papers. When he goes out, he ends up going out with his friend. He's going to get him, some cigarettes, because at the time he smoked cigarettes. He's going to get him some cigarettes with his friend, and he'll be back. I goes in the room. I goes to look under the bed. The papers are gone. So he took the papers with him, or maybe found another hiding spot. I don't know. So I want to say maybe 3 or 4 days later, he calls out of work. He comes in the room and says, I need to go. I have an appointment. Do you think you can come with me? So I'm just like, all right, cool. Now, in between these 3 days, me and him had been beefing heavy. Like, we were into it heavy. And Joshua always had this thing where whenever he got into it with somebody outside or wherever the fuck he was at, he would come home and take it out on me. Narcissistic shit, okay? He would come home and take it out on me, and we would be physically fighting, arguing, carrying on, whatever. All right, boom. So that what was going on. He had brought his anger home and tried to deflect it onto me, as per usual. So I wasn't speaking to him. So he broke the ice by coming into the room and saying, hey, I have an appointment. Do you think you can take me to the appointment? So I'm just like, what type of appointment? Because Joshua doesn't go to the doctor. Even when he got sick, he would be like, oh, I'm not sick. I don't need to go to the doctor. All right, fine. What's his doctor appointment? The dentist. I'm going to the dentist. This is what he says. So I'm just like, okay. Where's the dentist's office at? he starts getting irritated now because I'm asking questions. Like, if I'm gonna be driving somewhere, I would like to know. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna be just out driving any old place and don't know where the fuck I'm going. So he gets annoyed at the fact that I'm asking, where's the dentist's office? He's just like,
You just asking a lot of fucking questions. Either you gonna take me or you not gonna take me.
at that time, I wanted to say to him, I'm not taking you. You know. But I was just like, all right. I go, I shower, I get dressed. Um, when I get outside, I go outside. He's already outside. He's sitting in the garage smoking a cigarette. We get in the car, put the GPS on, we drive. Y'all, in my head, I'm thinking we're going to the dentist. We're going to the dentist. So I'm just like, this is cool because maybe I can see if they take my insurance, I can get my teeth done too because I need to see a dentist. So we get to this place here. He's like, go in the parking lot. This is like a parking lot across the street from the building because the parking spaces like in front of the building was just like crowded. It was no parking. So I go into the actual parking lot that's across from the building. He says to me, are you gonna sit in the car or are you gonna come with me? Because you really can just sit in the car. You really don't have to come with me. So I'm just like, it's coming. It's like it's going into spring. So if you ever been to ATL, you already know like ATL has early springs. So it's hot. It's hot as hell outside, and I got this little windbreaker, jacket on. I'm not sitting in this car in the heat. I'm not doing that. So he gets out of the car, like he's getting out. He goes, it shouldn't take me that long, what I'm doing, so you can just stay out here or whatever, and I'll call you. So I'm like, okay. He leaves. He goes. So I want to say like 30 minutes have went by. It's going close to like 40 minutes now. It's fucking hot sitting in this car. I'm not gonna hold you. The car didn't have a sunroof. Um, it was just a regular car. There wasn't much gas in the car to run the air conditioner. So I'm just like, I send him a text and say I'm getting ready to come into the building. I roll the windows up, locks the car, goes across to the building. I get to the building and there's like security sitting at the desk. It's like a high end building. Okay, so I said to the security guard, um, can you tell me what floor the dentist is on? And she's looking at me like, dentist. So I'm like, yeah. Um, my boyfriend had an appointment here, and with the dentist. So she's like, maybe you're at the wrong building, and I'm just like, this is the building I seen him walk into. She goes, well, sweetheart, there's no dentist in this building. Are you sure he didn't come back out the building and go up the block to? I'm like, no, I watched him go in this building. I never seen him come back out. She says, well, maybe you should call him because, I've been working here for 10 years and I don't recall a dentist's office being in this building. So I'm just like, I'm confused now. I'm like, why the fuck would he tell me? So I text his phone again. On the iPhone, you can see when a person is reading your messages. He's reading the messages, but he's not responding. So I call his phone. He answers, and he's irate. He's like,
What's the problem with you sitting in a car? I don't understand.
It's hot in the fucking car. It's hot outside. I'm tired of sitting in the car. And I'm not going to stand outside because I don't want nobody bothering me. He goes, all right, you know what? You're getting on my nerves. So he hangs up. In my face, just hangs up. Security guard's looking because I had it on speakerphone. Security guard is like, looking. He texts the floor. He texts the floor that he's on. So it's like the fourth floor. So the security is like, Yeah, there's no dentist on the fourth floor. There's no dentist in this building. So I'm just like, okay, so he said he's on the fourth floor. So she's like, yeah, the fourth floor is like Quest Diagnostics, um, just like a lawyer office. It's like different shit on the fourth floor, but there's no dentist. So I'm just like, okay. She goes, did he tell you the suite? And I said, no, he just said the fourth floor. So then, as I say that, he sends another message and says, as soon as you come off the elevator, it's right there. When you come off the elevator, just walk straight in. So I reads the text to her. She says, yeah, he's at the DNA diagnostic. He's at the diagnostic. So I give her my ID so I can get the visitor pass or whatever. She's still looking at me weird because, the whole dentist thing was just like far fetched. It was like, what the fuck. So she gives me the visitor sticker. I get on the elevator to the fourth floor. When the elevator door opened, it's like two glass doors, and I can't remember the name of the place, but it was definitely a place to take DNA tests. So I walk in, and I spotted him. He's sitting there with a clipboard and paper or whatever. So I just walk, I walk in, I sit down next to him. I didn't say a word because I already know if I would have said, why the fuck did you tell me that this is a dentist office? And it would have just turned into something else in this professional building. So I left it alone. I didn't say anything. The place was like overly crowded. We were there for like 3 hours. Like it was literally 3 hours. Just imagine. He wants me to sit in a hot car for 3 hours. So now it's his turn. They call his name. He goes up to the window. He's talking to the lady. And then he goes to the back. So I'm just really, really, I'm beyond angry. I'm sitting there just like, I just can't believe this dude. Like, it's just not making sense to me. Like, I don't understand. So he comes out and he's like, yeah, I'm finished. Come on. So I get up, we leave. And then once we get outside, I say to him, I thought you were going to the dentist. He puts his hand up and says,
I'm not in the fucking mood for your shit, Kane. I'm not in the mood. I said what the fuck I said. All right, you realize it's not a dentist office. Leave me alone.
like, damn, dog. Like, why are you so aggressive? Like, you're aggressive because I'm asking you why you lied about where you had to go. Like, I had already seen the paper that he had to take a DNA test. I've seen that already. I was just wondering when he was going to speak to me about it. And then you lie and say you need to go to the dentist office. Like, why you just didn't take the car and go by yourself? Y'all, like, I just don't understand. You lied about you had to go to the dentist. You asked me to take you there. And then I discovered it's not a dentist office. It's really a DNA test office. Like, and now you're getting mad because I'm asking you why you lied about it? Like, so the whole ride, he's driving now. The whole entire ride back to the house, he's yelling and screaming. And once he said that, like, once he did that, as we were getting in the car, I didn't say anything else to the man about the situation. I didn't say anything else to him about it. I left it alone. I was like, all right, fine, and that was it. But the whole ride home on 285, he just,
Oh, you're so fucking nosy and this, and I just don't understand. I can't never do nothing.
just going crazy. I'm just like, he literally gaslit the whole situation all the way home, y'all. All the way home. So then when we got home, I change my clothes, I go to my sewing machine, to the dresser, start sewing. Like, I didn't pay any of the shit no mind. I just went to my dresser, start sewing. He comes in the room and he's looking at me. He's leaning on the door, he's looking at me. And he goes, can I talk to you for a minute? And I'm just like, I'm not in the mood to argue. He's like, I don't want to argue. I want to talk. I said, all right, I'm listening. He goes, can you move away from the sewing machine so I know I have your full attention? So I'm like, all right. He said,
I know this is like really confusing for you, and I'm sorry that I didn't tell you, but this is a chick that I used to date. I used to mess with. I didn't date her. I was in a relationship where I used to mess with her from time to time, and she keeps trying to pin her son on me. I already took a DNA test for her son twice. And I don't understand why they keep coming and asking me to take DNA tests. And her son is not my son. I don't have any kids.
If you don't have any kids and you took a DNA test twice, why the fuck do they keep asking you to take DNA tests? Like, even now, as I'm telling this story time, I'm still confused. Like, somebody comment below and tell me, like, is that real? Like, can this really happen? Because I know I've never had to go through anything like this, so I don't know. Like, if you take a DNA test 2 times and they both say you're not the father, do are they allowed to keep asking you to take tests over and over again? Like, I don't know. This doesn't make sense to me. But this is what he told me. He took two DNA tests prior to this one, and they were still bothering him. So, I'm just looking at him and just like, okay. He's like, but do you understand? I'm like, yeah, I understand. I'm voicing to him, I understand, but in my head, I was just like, I understand that you are a lying piece of shit. You are a lying piece of shit. I'm still stuck on, can you take me to the dentist? I'm still stuck on that. You want me to take you to the dentist? Because I really was trying to get my teeth done too. So now we didn't go to no dentist. We went to a DNA office, a DNA test office. You didn't have to lie, Craig. You could have told me. Like, so he ends up, he ends up saying that, so I said to him, I'm like, so the story that the guy Stanley was telling us today at the casino, that was true. This man gets so mad, he starts yelling and screaming.
Why the fuck are you bringing that shit up? This is what I'm talking about. You always want to bring up old shit. Every time I try to come and talk to you like a grown man, like an adult, you want to bring up old shit. What the fuck does Stanley and the casino have to do with this?
Y'all, I just turned back around to my sewing machine and started sewing. Because, like I said, I'm not going to do this with you. Not today. I literally went through it with you for 4 or 5 days before that day. I'm tired. I can't fight today. I'm tired. And then you want to try to have me sit in a hot car in the sun, and it literally took you 3 hours to go to the back to get your mouth swabbed or take a blood test or whatever the fuck they did. So yeah, I was just like, yeah, I'm not doing this with him today. I'm just not. So I said, all right, you got it. You got it, boy. You got it. You got it. Turn around and finish doing what I was doing. So he goes to work the next day. I went on my CIA FBI shit. I looks for the paper that he had got from the sheriff with the girl's name. I types her name in on Facebook because y'all know everybody puts everything on Facebook. So I type her name on Facebook, and this was around the time where everybody was using their real name instead of fake, bullshit names. I type her name in, boom, she's the first page that pops up. So I just, I click on it. I'm just going through her pictures and going through her page. I'm looking for this little boy because I'm just like, Joshua is very distinctive looking. So you can never deny a kid, okay, from his skin complexion alone, okay. So I go there and there's a little kid. He stands out because he is the same complexion as Joshua. I screenshots the picture of the kid. I go into my pictures and I make like a little side-by-side collage in my phone of Joshua and little kid. I'm just like, the little boy does slightly kind of favor Joshua, just a little bit, not too heavy, So I sent it to my friend. I'm just like, hey, you know, do you think that Joshua, this little kid looks like Joshua? And she's just like, not really, just a little bit. They, they're the same complexion, in the eyes maybe, but then again, no. So it was just like a, is it or is it not type thing. So she's like, what's going on? So I explained the whole situation to her. She's just like, you just need to break up with him. Just leave him because, first of all, he's already, be putting his hands on you. He's disrespectful. He's rude. And now this, like, now somebody is sending him for DNA testing and he's lying about, like, it was just a lot. So I'm just like, yeah, she's, so I'm saying to myself, she's right. I think she's right. Maybe I should just break up with him because this is just too much. I'm literally sitting here going through somebody's Facebook page and screenshotting pictures of their kid and trying to put a collage together with this guy's face, like, to see. Like, I found, like, if I find myself doing shit like that, then I should not be fucking with you. I'm just like, it was just weird. And I wanted to go to him and just be like, I looked the girl up. I seen how the little boy looks, and I think the little boy slightly kind of looks like you. But I know if I would have did that, it would have been World War II. So I was just like, I'm not even gonna go. I'm not going that route. Fuck it. I'm gonna just wait and see. So now it's a new month, y'all. A whole new month. I done spent days and weeks wondering in my head, lost in the sauce. Is this kid belong to this guy? Why? What's the problem with him being honest and telling me, like? It just caused a lot of problems. It caused a lot of problems, y'all. So now there was like an actual me and him are bickering. We're arguing, we're bickering. It's things not going right, okay? I'm like, I'm about to pack my bags, I'm about to leave, go to my mother's house. I don't want to stay here because you have a whole kid. You have a whole 5-year-old son that you didn't tell me about. You lied about it. Like, it's just going bad, okay? So I walk into the room. He's sitting on the bed crying, like tears, crying. So I'm looking at him. I go to the closet, pulling my clothes out, putting it into my little rolling bag. And he goes, "You really leaving?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah. I don't want to be here. You might have a kid. We are in a long-term relationship, and y'all maybe some people might say I'm being immature about it, but it's just like in my head." I'm thinking you don't have any kids. I don't have any kids. We're gonna give each other our first kid. We're gonna experience parenthood together, and only to find out you have a kid somewhere else already that you have to give your time to. Because I'm not gonna interfere with that. I'm not gonna say, you know, no, you're not going to take custody. You're not going to take care of this kid. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Like, I'm not that type of female. So I would want you to be in your son's life. I want you to go back up to New York and see about your kid. Be with you in your kid's life. And I'm not going to get in the way of that. I'm going to go ahead with my life. And that was my plan. And it wasn't sitting well with him. He's like, he's crying. He's hysterical. It's just, Next morning, because I didn't end up going to my mother's house because he was crying and hysterical. Okay, another form of gaslighting, and narcissistic shit. So I felt bad. So I'm just like, okay, I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna stay. The next morning, he calls the lawyer. He calls the courthouse. He's talking to lawyers, whatever, and he's explaining to these people like, I'm just trying to find out if the results came in because this whole situation is ruining my life. It's ruining my current relationship. It's causing problems for me, and this is like the third time I took this DNA test. This girl keeps trying to pin this baby on me. It's not my kid. I just want my name to be removed from the whole situation. Like, this is what he's telling the lady. So the lady's like, puts him on hold. He's on hold for damn near an hour. So finally she comes back to the phone and she's like, I'm not supposed to give results over the phone, but you're in the clear. And I'll make sure that it's sent to your address. Is this the correct address? And he's like, yes. So once she says that, because he had her on speakerphone, he looks at me and now he's Kool-Aid smiling. He's happy now. Like, okay. So then he speak back with the lady or whatever, and then he ends the call. He's like, all right. Now he instantly goes from emotional Joshua back to psycho villain Joshua. Okay, he's like, yeah, so you heard what the fuck she said, so now you can shut the fuck up about the whole thing. I'm just like, what? I said, okay. Because in my head, I'm just like, I really should have just went to my mother's house. Like, I don't even know why I sat here and let myself be gaslit on the damn stove into staying. I don't know. I'm like, okay, I heard her. He goes, all right, so I don't really hear shit else about it. I'm just so, I looked at him, I said, well, you need to be telling her that. You need to be telling Rita that. So she can stop sending sheriffs to the doorstep with telling about you need to go do DNA tests and all this. Like, my only problem that I had was you felt the need to lie, talking about you were going to a dentist's office when you wasn't. You still on that? Yeah. Yeah, because it wasn't a dentist's office. You need to grow up. I need to grow up. But you can't even tell the truth. So, y'all, after 3 whole weeks of arguing, yes, y'all, 3 whole weeks of arguing, bickering, and fighting, the situation finally dies down. The situation dies down. And it died down because he called the girl on Facebook phone and they spoke about the situation. And the girl was apologizing and she was saying that she,
Oh, I wasn't giving them your name. I don't understand why your name was still being in the system. But the lawyer said your name is still in the system. So that's the reason why your name was printed on the paper.
So after the whole phone conversation, the whole baby thing, it faded away slowly. Okay, it faded away slowly. I still, my trust levels with him were like the space between my fingers. Okay, that was my trust level with him. I was just like, yeah, I don't trust shit you're saying. So when he would come and be like, oh, could you come with me over here? I would be like, what's the address? This is what the place look like? Or I'll just be like, no, I don't feel like going. I didn't trust him because, like, you lured me somewhere where we really wasn't going. When all you had to do as a significant other was like, I want to just come, let's sit down, let me explain this whole situation to you so it doesn't look this way or look that way, or you don't look at me this way and look at me that way. But he didn't do that. You tried to sweep and cover everything up, which made you look guilty and made you look like a liar. But y'all, he was a narcissist, so hey, I mean, there is no truth with those kind of people. There's no truth with them at all. Like, you were just always in the wrong, regardless of whatever the fuck ever. That's my story time, y'all. That's my story time. I have more coming within this weekend coming around. Okay? Some will have you laughing and some will have you be like, what? Because I'm in it. I really feel like I was in Twilight Zone with a lot of these people. I don't know why. I don't know if God sent them my way or if the devil was sending them my way. Either way, they came my way. So with that being said, because my allergy is whooping my ass right now, I'm going to go ahead and end this story time. I hope y'all enjoyed this one. Y'all, make sure y'all comment below. Let me know if you've ever been through something like this. Give me some feedback, because I love the feedback. Positive feedback, okay? I love criticism too. It don't matter to me. So, if you like this story time, you like this video, and you is FWM me, okay? Because I'm trying to stop cursing too much. But if you fucking with me, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, the bell, like, comment, share. Do all of that. Give this video a thumbs up. Get my viewers up. Thank you to my viewers. Thank you to my new subscribers. Thank you to my new viewers. Even if you didn't hit the subscribe button yet, because you're still unsure, but you're still watching. Every time I drop something, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the hate. I appreciate the people that can't stand me, but they just can't stop looking at me. I mean, look at me. I can't stop looking at me either. So, I'm going to see y'all in the next video.
Can give it something, baby, I can run all the time.